Alright, hey guys, so you can do this yoga flow. It's going to be about 30 minutes. You can do it any time out of the day, but O'Neill did just run long distance. I just did a HIIT workout, so it would also be really good if you did this flow after you've exercised today so that you're all warm. And anyway, so we're all going to start in child's pose. Your knees can be as close as you need them or as far apart as you'd like them, and your hips are going to sink down towards your heels, big toes kissing at the back. And you're going to lay your belly either on top of your legs or in between them, forehead down. If you want, you can close your eyes here or you can keep them open. While we're hanging out in this child's pose, we're going to connect with our breathing, our mental body, our physical body, seeing and noticing anywhere that may feel tight. So like noticing if your hips feel tight, your chest and your upper back, maybe your thighs feel tight. Taking a mental note of where your energy levels are at, if they're super, super up or if they're super, super low. And if you haven't started breathing in and out through your nose, go ahead and bring that breath through your nose, inhaling as deeply as you can and exhaling for as long as you can. And let's start to make our way slowly up into a tabletop position, bringing the wrist underneath our shoulders, knees underneath our hips. And we're going to move through some cat-cows. It can be as simple as inhaling, arching your back, lifting your chin, and exhaling, rounding your back, tucking your chin in towards your chest. Or if you want a little bit more free movement, your hips can rock side to side as you breathe through it. Hips can move in circles. Any kind of funky movements you feel your body needs right now. And then maybe like one more round of this cat-cow, any variation that you've been doing. And then you'll move into a neutral spine. We're going to send the right leg back, pressing the toes and the balled foot into the ground with the right leg straight. Just right leg. Good, and then you're going to rock back into your heels and then forward over your wrist. So we're working both the wrist and the calves right now. And when I rock into the wrist, I like to move in a circular motion and side to side to kind of get all angles. Good, and then let's lift the right leg up about in line with your hip. And then reach the left arm forward, opposite arm, opposite leg. While you're here, pull your tummy up, engage your core, lift away from the ground. Exhale, bring your elbow and knee in towards your belly, round your back. Inhale, reach out. Exhale, crunch in. Inhale, reach out. Exhale, crunch in. Inhale, reach out. Bring your left arm out to the side, right leg out to the side. Keep lifting the left or the right leg away from the ground. Send it back, arm in front, leg in back, and relax it down. Good. So this time send the left leg back, up on the ball of the foot, left leg straight. And then we're rocking back and forth here. And lift the left leg up. Right arm forward. Start on exhale, crunch in. Inhale forward. Exhale, crunch. Inhale forward. Exhale, crunch. Inhale forward. Right arm out to the side, left leg out to the side. Arm and leg back out straight. And relax it down to the ground. Good. And let's relax into a puppy pose. Keep your hips above your knees. Walk your hands out further towards the front of your mat. Lower your chest and your chin down. Keep pressing your armpits down towards the floor. And then let's start to shift that puppy pose forward into a Sphinx pose. Forearms on the ground, elbows underneath your shoulders. Root your hips down into the ground and then try to pull your chest forward and up. And if you want, you can add some neck circles here. And if you want to work into the back a little bit more, you can press through your hands and maybe lift the chest up a little bit more away from the ground. Extended cobra. Try not to lock out your elbows, but keep them nice and bouncy. And then we're all moving all the way down towards the floor, dragging the palms to the outsides of the chest, curling the toes under. Big inhale, lift all the way up to plank. And then shooting our hips up and back for a downward facing dog. All right. So for any of you who are new to yoga, down dog can kind of be a tricky pose, so I want to make sure we get it all right. Can you round your back? All right, so some of us may be really tight in the hamstrings, the lower back, and so your back might be a little bit rounded, and we want to lengthen the spine. So what you're going to do is you're going to gently bend your knees, and then you're going to shoot your hips up and back just a little bit further so you bring a little bit more length into the spine. Make sure your head's relaxed, looking back towards your thighs. Good. You want your fingers spread out as far as possible, about shoulder width apart, feet about hip width apart. And you can either just stay still here, you can add some movements like pedaling out your feet. Good, and then we'll go ahead and walk our feet up towards our hands. And again, if you have those tight hamstrings, you're probably going to need to bend your knees a generous amount to get up into this forward fold position. Try to relax your torso, grab opposite elbows with your hands, and try to just hang down towards the floor. And then we'll reach our palms back down towards the ground. We're heel toeing our feet out to the edges of the mat and sinking down into the hips for a very low squat. All right, palms come together towards your heart center so that you can press your hips out and keep them opening instead of collapsing towards the midline. Try to lengthen your spine and your head up towards the ceiling. Good. Plant your hands, lift your hips. Bring your feet underneath your hips once more. Inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale, fold down. Inhale, reach your arms all the way up. Exhale, palms to heart center. Good. Relax in a mountain pose, arms to your sides, standing up nice and tall. Deep breath in. Inhale, lift your arms up, look up towards your thumbs. Exhale, fold down towards your feet. Inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale, fold down, plant your hands, step back, plank. Good. Chaturanga. Bring your elbows to a 90-degree angle. Don't let your chest sink. And then move all the way down to the ground. Inhale, lift up, cobra. Exhale, downward dog. Lift your right leg up towards the ceiling. Maybe roll out the ankle. Maybe move your hip in circles. And when you're ready, just keep that right leg extended. Wait for an exhale, drive your knee towards your nose. Inhale, kick back up. Exhale, knee to right elbow. Kick back up. Exhale, knee to left elbow. Keep it up here. Extend your leg out towards the side. Place the outside of the foot on the ground. Inhale, left arm up. Lift your hips up. Good. Left hand back down. Pick your foot up off the ground. Bring your knee into your chest. And kick it back up, downward dog. Place your foot back on the ground. And left leg lifts. Move it around a little bit. And then fully extend it once more. Knee to chest on an exhale. Inhale up. Knee to left arm. Back up. Knee to right arm. Extend your foot out to the side. Place the outside of the foot down. Lift your right arm. Lift your hips. Right hand down. Lift your foot up. Knee to chest. Kick it back up. Place your foot down. Bring your knees down. Child's pose. Walk your hands up towards your knees, sit down onto your heels. Good. Lift your arms all the way up. Exhale, drop your left hand down to the ground. Reach your right arm over your ear and over your head. Shift your hips to the right. Wait for an inhale to lift up. Exhale over to the other side. Wait for an inhale to lift up. Bring your arms behind your back. Interlace your fingers. And drag your fists down towards your feet and the ground. Lift your chest up. Good. Relax your arms. Work your way back into a downward facing dog. Look towards the space in between your hands. Bend your knees and walk, step, or hop up towards your hands. And a forward fold. Inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale, fold. Inhale, reach all the way up. Exhale, hands into your heart center. Good, relax your arms towards your sides, mountain pose, stand up tall. Inhale, reach your arms up, look up. Exhale, fold down. Inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale, fold, step back, plank. Chaturanga. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, down dog. Lift your right leg up. Drive the knee forward so you can step your foot in between your hands. Place your back knee down. Good, and free choice, whatever variation of this low lunge you want to take. So if you want to keep your hands down at the ground in front of you, or bring your palms up towards your thigh, or if you have a really tight psoas and you're a runner and sprinter, I would highly suggest lifting your arms up and arching back just a little bit. And from wherever you're at, you're going to bring your hands to either side of your right foot and move back into a half split, lifting your right toes up off the ground and shifting your hips back. Maybe you're where O'Neill's at and you need to keep your knee a little bit bent still, or maybe you can get your right leg fully straight. Wherever you're at, square your hips off. And work your way back forward into a lunge. Step back into plank. Chaturanga. Cobra. Downward facing dog. Left leg lifts. Step it forward in between your hands. Back knee lowers. Take whatever variation you want to on this side. It doesn't have to match last side. And then wherever you're at, bring your hands to either side of your left foot. Shift back into your half split. Lift your left toes. Work towards a straight leg, even if it's not straight today. Move back into your low lunge. And freedom choice, you can either vinyasa with us, again, which is going to be the plank, chaturanga, cobra, down dog, or you can work your way back into a child's pose. So keep on resting in child's pose while I talk for a second. What we'll work into next is kind of a moving camel pose from side to side. So you'll go at your own pace, you'll go as deep as you want, but the main point is that when you bring your hand to either side, you're pressing your hips as forward as you can and lifting your chest up and as back as you can. So from your extended child's pose with your arms forward, we're going to slowly start to bring the arms over towards the left side. Left hand's going to come somewhere towards the outside of the left leg, and you're going to start to lift your hips up, forward, and reach your arm back. And when you move down, you're going to move back through that child's pose. Bring your right hand over towards the side of your right leg, lift your hips up and forward, arm back. And then move through at your own pace. Maybe do one more each side. And we'll counter stretch that back into a child's pose. And take your time to work into a downward facing dog. Look at the space in between your hands, bend your knees, walk, step, work. Hop up, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, reach your arms all the way up. Exhale, palms into your heart center. Let's relax into a mountain pose. Ready? So on an inhale, lift your arms straight up, lift your knee up. Keep your foot flexed. Good, make sure you engage your core because we're going to rotate through our hips. So we're going to keep bringing this right leg out towards the side. Eventually your hip will kind of have to flip and you'll kick your heel back towards the wall behind you, outstretch your arms straight in front of you. Go ahead and bring it back forward. Lift the torso. Leg moves through the hip, back out in front. One more time. And then hold when your leg's back, arms are forward. Slowly lower your hands down towards your foot. Lift your right leg up. Good. On an exhale, you're going to drive your right knee down towards your ankle. Inhale, kick it back up. Exhale, drive it down. Inhale, up. One more time. Exhale, drive it down. Inhale, up. Step your right foot down. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, reach your arms up. Exhale, relax them down. When you're ready, you're going to inhale, arms up, lift your left leg up off the ground, flex your foot. We're doing the same thing. We're going to open the left hip up and start to kick it back behind us, reach the arms forward. Hold here for a breath and then same thing, bring the leg back forward. Good, one more time back. Hold here, engage your core. Slowly lower your hands down towards your foot. Lift your left leg up. Wait for an exhale, drive the left knee down towards your right ankle. Inhale up. Again. And one more. And step the left foot down. Heel toe your feet so they're out to the edges of the mat. Lower down into a very low squat. If you want to open up the side body a little bit, you can place one arm down, lift the opposite up. And make sure you get both sides. Good. And then start to lift your hips back up. Turn your toes forward. Fold down. When you're ready, we'll start to walk back towards a downward facing dog. Lift the right leg up. And bring the knee forward for a pigeon pose. So the outside of the lower right leg, outside of the foot is on the ground. The closer your heel is towards your groin area, the easier the pose will be. The further out and away from your groin it is, the little bit more difficult it gets. Okay, try to square your hips. Lift your chest just once more before you lower all the way down. And then fold over that right leg. Relax your head. And start to walk back up towards your hips. And we're going to get into pigeon pose whatever way you want to. So you can go back into down dog to get into pigeon pose on the left side, or you can do it with as little effort as you want to use. Good. And when you get there, square your hips off, lift your chest once before you completely lower down and fold over. And walk your hands back up. We're going to slide our glutes down onto the ground and our right thigh up to the sole of the left foot. Good. And then we want the right foot underneath our hips somewhere. You ultimately want the top of the foot on the ground, but as someone who is very inflexible, when I first started yoga, that might not be fully possible. So if the inside of your foot has to be on the ground, that's totally fine too. And then from here, you're gonna lean back as much as you can. So it might be here, might just be down to the forearms, or you might be able to get all the way down. Good. Start to lift up wherever you're at. And then we're going to step the right foot over the left thigh. Bring the left heel to the outside of your glute. Left hand to the outside of your left hip. Inhale your right arm up. Oop, opposite. Opposite. Right hand to the outside of your glute. Inhale, lift your left arm up and twist over.
Oof.
And move back to neutral. Twist over to the left counter. Good. And then we'll do it on the opposite side.
Whew. Oh man. Tight. IT bags.
So this time, sole of the right foot is against the left thigh. You're pulling the left foot all the way back, as close to the hips as you can get it, and then you're slowly lowering down. And lift back up. Good. Step the left leg over the right. Left arm down to the side for support. Inhale, right arm up. Exhale, twist over. And straighten this leg.
Tightness, folks. Tightness. But you never give up.
Good. And relax to neutral. Do your counter stretch towards the opposite side. And we will release our legs forward. And bring the soles of the feet together, heels in towards the groin, butterfly pose. You're gonna grab the blade edge of the foot, pull your chest up, shoulders back, and we're going to rock down onto our backs. Keep hold of your feet so we're in a reclined butterfly. And if you want to take that out into a happy baby pose, you can take it out into a happy baby pose. Knees being pulled down towards your rib cage, but heels pressing up towards the ceiling. And when you're done moving and ready to be still, extend your legs out. Arms by the side. And we're just going to stay here for about 5 minutes or so. You don't have to force yourself to do anything here. Let go of any control over your breathing.